these greedy churches with Baptist neighborhoods, they could take care of their own.
Yeah, well, we want to kind of try to
These
talk
mega
about
churches.
the positive things that
Right, but
that
I'm
we
pointing
can
out the real
accomplish.
problem in the black community. These mega churches, we could take care of our own.
Well, you know, in the black community, not just black people or colored people that live there, there's all sorts of people, they're mixed neighborhoods.
Right, but I'm saying as a whole,
Yeah.
we don't, you know.
Well, what do you
it's
mean
just
take
greed.
care of their own when you say take care?
Well, they always talk
Feed
about,
them, you know,
They always
people-
talking about the schools is not right, the hospital's not right.
You know, I want to get with this new guy that become the school superintendent in Minneapolis.
Right.
And I want to talk to him about examining the child for the proper placement
Right.
in the class of study.
Right.
You can't put all 9-year-olds together in
No.
all this one class, because they learn at different levels.
And the thing is, proper dieting.
Well,
Proper dieting. You have to eat the right food to get the kid to think right also.
That's
all this
true.
eating these pig foot and hog maws and all this slave food gonna have the kids crazy. You have to get a kid a proper diet.
yeah, but look at all this television stuff and everything. You know, they asked one little kid, I said, who's your mommy's best friend? And the kid answered, her cell phone.
See?
Yeah.
Stupidity.
People got that contraption, you know, and iPods and electronics and stuff. They're not out there learning, and that, you know, they need more attention. They got to be placed properly in the education
But
system.
we need our own schools. That's what I was saying. They need to be pulled out of
You said
the
that
public
before.
schools. We need our own schools.
Schools for people of color.
Well, set them aside because what's been done to them mentally. Okay? Mentally.
But
My-
look at all these years that the people fought to get integration.
Integration killed black people. We
Uh-huh.
were so stupid for that. Integration fucked black people up. When we was together, we spent money with each other. We were flourishing. Place in Detroit, Black Bottom, we was flourishing. They built the Chrysler Freeway in the middle of it.
Here they had the Rondo neighborhood
Rondo
in St. Paul
neighborhood.
was doing
Doing
really
good.
big. Yeah. They came through with the highway.
Right, and so a lot of my people is looking for white people's approval. Be your own man and take care of your own self. Stop begging somebody else. Take care of yourself.
So you think that the colored people need to, want to, would do better to separate themselves
Yeah.
from the white people?
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I don't care if people
To
going to
get
get
'em-
mad.
to
I'm
get-
going to call them colored and white because I don't mean anything derogatory about what
To
I
get
say.
them right, we need our own schools.
Yeah.
We got to have our own schools and stop teaching them this watered down history.
But you're still talking about math and science and study and
Take
all of
math,
that.
science, all
But
of
you're
that.
talking the history. They got to learn the history a little better.
We need to teach them real history.
But do you think that's going to keep them from getting along, cooperating, you know, with the colored community and the white community?
Well, at
Like-
some point they're gonna have to deal with white people, but we need to pull our own to the side and get them right.
Uh-huh.
See, like I said, a lot of my people are not stable. They
Well,
think they're stable, but they're not. You know, they have 400 years to play with black people's mind.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of my people think Jesus is gonna come back and get them and take them somewhere. That's screwed up. Or they pray and think money gonna drop out of the sky. It doesn't happen like that.
No, but what it does do, it gives you a more receptive attitude.
Yeah, but that was.
But I know what you're
But
saying.
that's what our former slave masters taught us. Pray to Jesus, and he was whooping your ass with that belt.
You know what I started doing is taking some meditation classes.
Well, maybe that'd be good.
Well, that's really good.
Maybe that would
Calm
be good.
down, you know, and breathe right. And they said when you're meditating, you might get distracted, you know, something to pull you away. What you can always count on, you can always come back to, is your breath, your breathing.
Right.
In through the nose and breathing and calm yourself and do that in the morning. And I did it the other night and I fell asleep like a little baby and slept good at night. So I'm recommending that to people.
Well, maybe
We're-
that would be a good idea.
We're going to have Dr. Lucking added to the show. Dr. Lucking is a naturopathic doctor in South Minneapolis.
Okay.
And he knows all about massage and acupuncture and diet and vitamins and all that.
Right.
And I want to add him to the show and talk about
Right.
those subjects.
But a lot of times, when a person been indoctrinated with garbage, they can also mess you up too. That's what I'm saying. We've been indoctrinated with garbage.
Well, meditation will clean it up because
Right.
you're thinking better.
Right. And just like me and you was talking about religion. Religion is for the most part, is garbage. Okay? Spirituality and religion is two different things. You need to get more spiritual and get more in tune with God.
You think religion is too much business?
Well, most of them are businesses.
Uh-huh.
You know, and then you know, groups, like I said, a lot of these churches, they got our people way out there.
Yeah.
Okay, in fact, a lot of the churches to me look like they're helping oppress our people more with this hereafter, or you know, money coming out of the sky.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't work like that. If you don't get up off your butt, ain't nothing going to happen.
Okay.
You just a guy that's praying and making noise.
Well, when we get Lucking on the show, we'll talk about how important it is to have a good diet. You know, you're going to have good
Right.
things, but you have a good diet.
Right.
My diet really fell apart. You know, I kind of
Right.
gained 10 pounds and my diet fell apart. Not going to be governor if you're going to be
Well, see, in my
a little
community,
fat guy.
and I tell blacks this, I tell natives this, which is
I call them Indians. I'm changing the whole thing. Native Americans is like calling people African Americans.
well, they not Indians. Christopher Columbus thought he was an Indian and called them Indians. They not really Indians. They don't have a dot in the middle of their head.
Well, what are they if they're not Indians?
They're not Indians. Christopher
You're
Columbus.
talking about, I'm not talking about Indians from the country of India.
Well, they're not. That's not their original name. They're not Indians. See, everybody been what you call it misnamed.
What are they?
They're not Indians.
Well, they're not, you could call them, some people call them indigenous people.
They're the original people of this land. But you also had black people that was already here, that was natives. My family is natives.
Indigenous people to the land.
Black people right here already. Everybody like to talk this African stuff. A lot of us was already here. So they
Okay.
tricked our people. Say, oh, you all come from Africa. Now I'm going to say this. Back then, it take at least 3-4 months to sell a ship from Africa. You mean that all these slaves laid out and all this mess and urine and not eating properly, how did those slaves survive?
I don't know.
They wouldn't have. So what I'm getting at, a few came from Africa, but most of them were probably already, I believe most of them was already here.
So
that was a
come
Native
over from Jamaica and the islands and all
Well, it was a Native American talking to the minister, Louis Farrakhan. He said only 8% came off the ships. He said the numbers are wrong. He told Minister Louis Farrakhan, a lot of those guys, black people you talking to in your mosque, a lot of those are Native Americans. Real Native Americans look like me and the brother that's working the camera. Okay, a lot of the natives that are mixed, that's because the people had been raped. Okay, a lot of these natives that they have and calling them Native Americans, they government planted Native Americans. And then most of the ones that's dark, they don't get no money. Most of the natives, they get all the money, they look white.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Most of these black people you see over here in America, these are native blacks.
I think
of this land.
once we understand who we all are and what we all represent, we'll probably get along a lot better.
Well, black people been misnamed.
Yeah, we're running
I'm
down.
here to say we not all of us not from Africa. They try to say they got us
Okay.
from West Africa. Some of us was already here, and we was taking trips over here. We were world travelers. Way before slavery got here, we were here.
All right, we'll pick up on that again when we do our next show. We're going to
Okay.
shoot another show.
Okay.
But I see by the clock we got about a half a minute to go.
Oh wow.
Yeah, time goes fast when you're having fun. But we're going to talk about what benefit it would be to everybody cooperating, getting along, and getting educated
Right.
if Leslie Davis were the governor of the state of Minnesota.
Right.
So we'll do that. We'll go back in about 10 seconds. But for right now, we'll be done, and I appreciate you talking about this subject, and we'll be back next week.
Thank you.
See you again.